wear shades, and you can't see my eyes unless my head is bent. You dig?
Hi everybody, welcome to the first edition of Paul Posted Up here on collegehoops.net. I got to thank Sean Siegel for allowing us users with a voice to let our voice be heard, seen in this case, on collegehoopsnet.com. He's created a very nice college basketball website. Gets a lot of traffic, but makes this fun, makes it user interactive for us so we can do things like this. So thanks go to Sean on that. For y'all that haven't got involved, get on the message boards, get in the pick'em games, start your own U group. Man, let your voice be heard. Have fun with it. It's a good sport. We love it. Have fun with it. So let's get right into it. Let's look at the rankings for this week. Top 5, Wake Forest is still undefeated. You know, you gotta love Jeff Teague there. Let's see, you've got Duke, I think, is number 2, and I think it's the AP poll. UConn, Pitt, North Carolina, Oklahoma, something like in that order. If you look at those teams, you've got, Wake undefeated, of course. I don't know if their schedule's been all that great now, the conference, so I don't think in the ACC they're going to hang at number 1 for too long. Duke, Kyle Singler's been playing good. Joe Henderson's actually playing up to par. The NBA scouts, he's a super stud, and he hasn't ever played up to par yet. Now he's doing pretty good. So I think Duke may end up winning the ACC, maybe even North Carolina. UConn out of the Big East. They're okay at ranked at number 3. I still don't think they win the Big East. I think Pitt wins the Big East. Pitt, they're at number 4. Nice rebound win over Syracuse last night after losing at Louisville this weekend. I love DeJuan Blair, Sam Young. They're loaded. Carolina, everybody thought, a couple weeks ago, they may not lose this year. They're one of the best teams ever, and they've lost a couple games since. They're at number 5. Oklahoma at number 6 with Blake Griffin and, of course, Willie Warren, the freshman there. Blake Griffin's probably been the player of the year so far. A couple other teams you could probably throw in. I think Michigan State probably belongs up there, depending on the poll you look at. I think they've done a good job in the Big Ten and probably are going to run. They may run the table in the Big Ten. I think Purdue, Minnesota may give them a game here and there. But other than that, those are the top rankings for this week. Let's think some stuff that happened last week. Of course, everybody knows about Jody Meeks from Kentucky dropping 54 on Tennessee. Couldn't miss that night. It's a shame that Patrick Patterson has to play with a black hole like Jody Meeks. Jody Meeks doesn't usually shoot that well. In fact, in some of the losses they've had, he's shot pretty bad. Some Kentucky fans out there, I've heard, think they're getting disrespected by not being in the top 25. Don't think that's the case. They're out of conference. Schedule being the way it is, pretty weak with that loss to VMI mixed in there. I think they'll be right to the top 25 if they keep winning. You can't forget about the loss to VMI. VMI maybe winning the Big South right now, but still the Big South. ACC Big East, their domination up now has been pretty good. A lot of talk on the message boards and on the U group, and even on College Hoops Net on the main page about any other team has a chance to make it. Maybe the Final Four of any other conference. Out of the ACC or Big East. Other than them. I don't think you got to look at teams like Michigan State, mentioned before. Their defense is always taken far. Oklahoma, they play real hard. The guards are hitting. They're tough. Gonzaga is one of the teams you may not be thinking about. Of course, they're the sweetheart of a lot of people. They're the Cinderella, and now they've become a top player in basketball, college basketball, and they've got the experience to maybe make their deep run. They've got good guard play, a couple good big guys like Austin Day as well. Can't forget UCLA. They haven't beat anybody yet, but they still play defense. They're young, but I like them. Talk about Stephen Curry and how he's played this year without Jason Richards. Everybody talked, losing the point guard was going to be a big deal for him. Hasn't been so far. Still been a real good scorer. Distributed the ball well. He's got some nice post players around him, so I like them quite a bit. And speaking of Curry's, wouldn't it be interesting to see Seth Curry, his little brother, and Liberty in the Big South somehow pull an upset and maybe win the Big South, and maybe the Currys can meet in the tournament. I think that would be kind of interesting. What about Boston U yesterday against Stony Brook? 4 overtimes. Of course, on Martin Luther King Day yesterday, a lot of games were played early, so that was one of the ones. And, of course, a game like that we don't get to see on TV. You have guys like John Holland who played all 60 minutes of that game. The stats of that game were amazing. It's the box score of the day if you want to check it out. it makes me depressed that with all the channels we have, that game wasn't on TV somehow, with it being an early tip like it was. But I digress. Let's check out some of the big games this week. Tomorrow night you've got Villanova at UConn, big game in the Big East. I think Villanova may give them a game. I think UConn is a little suspect. As I said, they're ranked at 3 or whatever, but I still think they're a little suspect in the Big East. Clemson, North Carolina is a huge game in the ACC tomorrow. Clemson needs a win right there. Carolina needs a win. Boy, it's going to be a fight. Thursday, you don't have many big games, but I think Purdue, Minnesota is a big game. Purdue's been struggling this year. They've only got 4 losses, and they're like number 15 or 16 still ranked. But they've struggled with some teams. Minnesota, on the other hand, Tubby Smith's done a good job there in getting them revamped up a little bit. And, you know, they're a top 25 legitimate team. And I think Minnesota probably wins this game. Don't be surprised if Purdue does. Moving on. Not really much Friday to look at. Some mid-major stuff, nothing big. Saturday you've got UConn at Notre Dame, which is a big, huge game for Notre Dame. They've had a couple. They've had some tough Big East games coming up. And man, I love Luke Herringody, but the guy shoots the ball a lot. McElharney is can't ask for anything more for an Irish player to be named McElharney. Shoots the bomb threes. I mean, he shoots them from way out there. But man, this is a must-win for them. And UConn really can't afford to lose this game on the road either. A mid-major game to look at. Wisconsin-Milwaukee at Butler's a big game in the Missouri Valley. I mean, the Horizon League. Sorry. I think Wisconsin-Milwaukee has a chance. This may be one of the games where Butler slips up, but Butler's still Butler. They've got all the white guys. Feels like you're playing against Hoosiers, you know. Another big game Saturday, Maryland and Duke. I think Maryland may have a chance to pull off an upset at Duke. Maryland needs this win. I don't know if they're in the tournament right now. They're what they are. They're a real low seed. I don't have them in right now, but they need to win this game. So that's pretty much it for this week. I can't do too much on here because if you're like me, your attention span's not too long. You've got something to watch up here. There's inauguration today of our first African-American president, Barack Obama. Pulling for the country with this. I hope he's got some good stuff in store for us. And so it is a historical day in that fact, and the fact this was the first Palmer posted up. So, like I said, keep participating in collegehoops.net, on message boards, on the U groups. Posting comments on people's articles. All these people there working hard for you to give this entertainment to you, this information to you. Let them know you like it. Let them know you don't like it. Post comments. Get on the message boards. Play the pick of games. Sean Siegel, we thank you for collegehoops.net. And until next week, keep posting up fools, dropping threes on chumps. And holla at a player if you see him in the streets, baby.
I wear a mean dark pair of shades, and you can't see my eyes.